Welcome back to Worldly Wonders. We cover a variety of wonderful travel destinations and give overviews, as well as some important details about the places we cover in case you decide to make the journey and explore them. Today, we're gonna be doing a little bit of a different video. We're going to talk about some of the least visited national parks in the United States. For one reason or another, the national parks we're going to cover in this video are not getting visited for recreational purposes. Let's get right into it and talk about them. Who knows, maybe explorers will help boost those numbers. First up, we have Lake Clark National Park and Preserve in Alaska. Lake Clark National Park and Preserve had 18,278 recreational visits in the last year. Lake Clark National Park and Preserve is an American national park in southwest Alaska, about 100 miles southwest of Anchorage. The park was first proclaimed a national monument in 1978. Then later in 1980, it was established as a national park and preserved by the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act. Up next is a park that we have covered before, and that's North Cascades National Park in Washington. North Cascades National Park had 17,855 recreational visits. Briefly going over it again, North Cascades National Park is in northern Washington state. It's a vast wilderness of conifer-clad mountains, glaciers, and lakes. The North Cascades Highway passes viewpoints that leads to trails such as the famous Thunder Creek Trail. The park has over 200 species of birds and plenty of other wildlife throughout, such as gray wolves and grizzly bears to see. Back onto Alaska, we have Kobuk Valley National Park. Kobuk Valley National Park got 11,540 recreational visits in a year. Kobuk Valley National Park is a park in the Arctic region of northwestern Alaska. The park is located about 25 miles north of the Arctic Circle. All the Arctic animals that you could imagine are located in this park. Wolves, wolverines, foxes, moose, grizzlies, and porcupines. They're everywhere. Twice a year, you can see 250,000 caribou pass through the park for their migration, and it's truly a sight to behold. There's no road access to this park. You'll need to access the park like most visitors and use an air taxi from Kotzebue or Bettles. In the summer, you can get scheduled air service from Anchorage to Kotzebue and Fairbanks to Bettles. In the winter, access to the park is by plane, dog sled, or a snowmobile. Now we're at national parks that are under 10,000 recreational visitors in a year. The National Park of American Samoa is located in the United States territory in American Samoa, distributed on 3 islands, Tutuila, Ofu, and Tau. The park only had 8,495 recreational visits. The park preserves and protects coral reefs, fruit bats, tropical rainforests, and the Samoan culture as we know it. Some activities at the park include snorkeling and hiking. The final park we're going to cover, and the one with the lowest recreational visits, is Gates of the Arctic National Park and Preserve in Alaska yet again. Seems that all of us explorers need to make the journey to Alaska and get those numbers up. Gates of the Arctic National Park and Preserve had only 7,362 recreational visits. The park protects portions of the Brooks Range in northern Alaska. The park is the northernmost national park in the United States. It is entirely north of the Arctic Circle. The warm season from May 19th to September 2nd, with an average daily high temperature above 57 degrees Fahrenheit. The hottest month of the year is in July, with an average high of 70 degrees Fahrenheit and low of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The park lies west of the Dalton Highway, centered on the Brooks Range and covering the north and south slopes of the mountains. The park includes the Endicott Mountains and part of the Schwatka Mountains. That's going to do it for our list of parks with the least amount of recreational visits. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you plan on visiting any of the parks in this video, and let us know if there are any more parks that you'd like for us to cover more in depth. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and would like to support the channel. Until next time, happy exploring.